Ready? Now, guys, with this one here, does everybody see 1 plus 2x power 7? Okay. Now, because it's the power 7, how many terms are there? 8. Nice one. Now, okay, there's 8 terms. Okay. Now, here's what we're looking at. Okay, guys. So there's something that you'll see. You see a generic formula. It's in your maths tables. It's NCR q to the power of r. Or sorry, to use p and q. I'll get you now, right? P to the power of p to the power of r, q to the power of n minus r. Now let me explain. We've been using this formula all along. It's just that we were woefully unaware that we were using it. So let me explain. Okay? So do you see 1 plus 2x there to the power of 7? Okay? Now, here's what I want to make us familiar with. Okay? The p is the yellow part. The q is the blue part. And we've been doing this all along. Okay? Now, the n is the total number, which is the 7. Oh, sorry, I need another color. Sorry. The n is the 7. And the r is what term you're on. So let me show you what we did earlier. We would have started off like this. 7c0, wouldn't we? Right? So this means the r value would have been 0. And the n value is always stuck at 7. Then we do the yellow one, which is 1 to the power of 7. And then we drive on. Next time we do it, we're doing an r value of 1. So what do we do this time? 7 times 1. What next? Now, sorry, guys. I just realized something. Sorry. Lads, look at the top, please. Look at the top. Sorry, it's p to the power of n minus r qr. So just give me a second. So the n is still 7, r is 1. So what would be the first power here? To the power of 6. And then the q value, which is the 2x, that'll be to the power of 1. Okay? Now, let's do one more time, just to show you we've been using this all along. What's the r value this time? 2. 7c2. What's 7 take away 2? 5. And then the r value is 2. So we've been using this formula all along. But the truth is, we're not writing all them out anymore. Look how many questions there is in question 1 alone. You're not writing all them out. This formula here, this formula on the top, which I'm now completely colouring in green, that is in the log tables. If you look up the index, look for binomial expansion. Now here's what we're going to do next. The way I do this is I just wouldn't bother writing all that down for a minute, and I'd be like, okay, let me figure this out. Okay, what's the first term? The first term is 7c1, isn't it? Second term, third term, fourth term. What's that? Fifth. When you're doing the fifth term, the r value is 4. All right. N value is 7. N minus r? 3. Okay. Next thing then. Just going to try and grab this and take it away for a minute. Not that. Okay. Never mind. All right. I'll just need another color. Now, is everybody happy that P is the number 1 and Q is the number 2x? No bother. 7c4, just get rid of all these that came before. 7c4, the first one to the power of, what's n minus r? 3. And it's 1 to the power of 3. And then the other one, 2x to the power of 4. And all I have to do here is use my calculator. All right. 35. Now that's 35, okay? But I also have to forget, I also forgot about the 2 to the power of 4. So I'm going to ignore the x's even there. So I'm going to do 7c4. I'm going to multiply it by 2 to the power of 4. And I'm going to get 560. 560, what power of x? x4. And that's me done. Is that all right, you guys? We didn't. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to do now, guys. I want you to try part 8. Okay? And in part 8, you're looking for the middle term. Okay? Now, think about this. Yeah. Now, some people will know that is the problem. So, what I'm saying is you're looking for the middle term. If it's to the power 10, how many terms do you have? 11. And what is the middle of 11? If you aren't sure, divide by 2. What you get? 5 point. Round up. You're looking for the 6th term. Off you go. And I'll put that equation on the board before that guy goes at me again. Okay. Now you're looking for the 6th term, aren't you? That's your first. That's your second. And by that logic, I think 10 choose 5 would be your 6th. That makes sense. So yes. Just give me a second. So I'm going to go for 1. Now, what do we say n was? N is 10. R is 5. What's n take R? 5. And Q minus 2x to the power of? That's a Q. All right. Now, gents, you're going to go to your calculator. Sorry, why is R5? Okay. We all agreed that's the 6th term, didn't we? So 10C0 is number 1. 10C1 is number 2. By that logic, 10C5 would be number 6. Is that okay? You'll find that's my second time saying it if you were to listen to this later on. Okay? Now, lads, when you do this in the calculator, it's 10C5, okay? Put it in a bracket because you don't want to make sure it's isolated. Then you're going to multiply that by minus 2 to the power of 5. Okay? I understand the calculator isn't the largest at the moment, but that's what you're putting in the top left of the screen. And when you do that, did anybody get an answer of minus 8,064? Yes. Okay. Now, lads, can anybody tell me the difference between root 2 x squared and root 2 with an x squared to the side of it? Hands up if you know the difference. Yes, Mark. What? The x2 isn't being rooted. But in this question, so example would be something like this. If I gave you root 6, I could ask you to write root 6 as root 3 by root 2. Called the multiplication law. I'd ask you to call root 18. I could ask you to say root 18 is root 9 by root 2. And what is root 9? 3. So 3 root 2. You've probably seen this before in some form, okay? We hope. Now, using that logic, what I can say about root 2 x squared all in one go, I can say that that's arguably root 2 by root x squared. And what is root x squared? Just x. So, does everybody now know the difference between the two of them? And it's all about how long I make my sign, isn't it? Whether it's inside or outside. Very important. Okay? Especially when you're the one writing the answer. Now, here's what we're going to do. Currently, despite being a teacher, I'm looking at that question and going, damn, that's hard. Right? So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking is I'm going to do the first term myself. Okay? So what you reckon? 3, 0, yeah? First one to the power of 3. Okay? Go and do the second one. 3C1. Just get, it's what you were saying earlier. Doing your own way, not necessarily sticking to the formula, okay? And then I'm going, okay, 2 squared, and then this one here, root 2, All right. Now look at this. The first one has no x's, doesn't it not? The second one has an x squared. By that logic, what do you think that the third one's going to have? What do you think it's going to have? 2 to the power 1 root 2 x squared to the power of, what's it? 2. And what is x squared to be squared? X to the power 4. Because x2 squared is 4. So we found our target, didn't we? That's the only one we're interested in. Not interested in the other ones. Just the only one I want to deal with is this one here. Is that cool with you guys? Now, so what we're going to do here is 3C2. The answer is 3. 2. And now I have to do root 2 squared. And that's what I have to enter into my calculator. It's 12. And then what did we say that x was? X4. That's my answer. 12x4. Oh, I lost marks. It says coefficient only. So technically, I'd have to say answer is 12. Coefficient is the number that comes in front of the x4. So if you look at the back of the book, it won't have 12x4. It'll just have 12. Okay, I think you should practice one because I'm boring you to sleep. All right, lads, will you guys try question part 4 for me? Part 4. Yeah, go on. All right, guys, so here's what we're looking at here. Okay. What I'm going to do here is the following. I'm just going to start off with the very first one. 8C0 8C0 1 to the power of 8. And then I'm going to go 8C0 AC1 1 to the power of 7. What's it? Minus 3x to the power of 1. And then I'm going to go, wait a minute. I really want it to be x to the power of 4. So I don't write it all out. Absolutely not. Way too lazy for that. Right? So I go 8C2 will be, this one's x. 8C2 will have x squared. 8C3 will have x cubed. And AC4 will have x4. I'm only concerned with the 8C4 one. Is that okay? So I just rub all these out. I found my trend. I understand it now. I go, okay, I'm just going to go for the 8C4 one. Now, remember what we said earlier. 8C4. Okay. Now, that means this one's to the power of 4. What does that mean? This one has to be the power of 4 as well. And then I put the 1 here and the minus 3x here. Now, I'm going to highlight the parts I put into the calculator. Here's what I'll put into the calculator. I'll put that into the calculator. Will I bother with the 1 to the power of 4? It's 1. Won't bother. But I will put this part in. Okay, I'll show you now. Use brackets. 8C4 minus 3 in brackets to the power of 4, 5,670. And you're only after the coefficient, aren't you? So 5,670 x4. That won't get me the marks. The answer is just right. Okay. Now, lads, this one here, question 6. Okay. Now, this is not bad at all. Okay, I know it looks terrible, but it's not. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Shh. Ready, gents? Good. Okay, so NCR P to the N minus R Q to the R. Okay, now here's what we're gonna do. To the power of 12 means how many terms? 13. Divide 13 by 2. 6.5. Round it up. 7 term is what we're looking for. Term 7. Okay, so term 7. If we remember correctly, 12C0 is the first term. 12C1 is the second term. By this logic, which one is the seventh term? 6. Some of you may need to count up all the way. Okay? But that's the logic, isn't it? It's always one underneath what you think it is. But if you do it out at the beginning, you'll explain it to yourself every time. Now, next thing we're going to do, guys, is the following. I'm after the seventh term. This means the R value is, what's the bottom number again? R value is 6 for the seventh term. What's the N value? N value is always the power. N value is 12. So it's what you guys would have done. It's 12, choose 6. What's N minus R? So it's X to the power of 6. Okay, then next part. Minus 2y to the power of 6. Okay. Now, yeah, we'll write down the middle term first, all right? So here, once again, this is what's gone into my calculator. Why am I going to ignore x to the power 6? It's just 1 x to the power 6. Going to ignore it. But what about this part here? That's all I'm putting into my calculator. The parts I've highlighted in green are the only parts that are going into my calculator. Okay, use your brackets. 12, C6, and then minus 2 to the power 6. And you get 59,136. Okay, and what did we agree the numbers would be? X6, Y6. Does it specifically say the word coefficient this time? Does it say anything about coefficient? So it means I need to keep the whole thing in. Now, any of you guys tell me how to do part 2? This part here. Sub them in. Sub it in and use your calculator. And go again. So this number here, and I'm too lazy, I'm just going to store this answer. Because I'm a minimalist. Okay, and has anybody got an answer yet? Anybody get 231 over 16? Okay. Lads, for homework tonight. Question 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, and 7. This exercise, what's it, 15? So what exercise is this? 1.6. 1.6, guys.